Tnc definitely wants to go for a sweep here, and with what they drafted, it looks like they mean business. So let's see how it plays out here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 2.
The path is clear for Tnc. They can play very similar to game 1.
Yeah.
And if ever things don't go the way that Omega would want it to go for KLVJ, they still do have a Bomber and a D-Roth and a Beatrix to be the ones to carry the objective team fighting if KLVJ has a rough time on that Eve.
Yeah.
So in terms of like what they need and like having backup plans, they do have it. But again, because of the tendency that we've been seeing with carries, Tnc drafting well around for it again.
Oh, early fight. SDC attempted to retribution Ryzen's purple. Omega doesn't allow such shenanigans here.
Sorry, that's just like seeing, you know, one of us like walk into the jungle there. He's literally just nonchalantly walking and try to get the retribution off. He couldn't. So what I was gonna say with Ben Things specifically, when he does play this Cho here, he's gonna be careful because we have seen Ben Things, or even just Cho players in general, these roamers, where they try to get those setups with the Way of the Dragon, sometimes the Flicker too. They end up out-positioning themselves, and it already creates a snowball here. This lineup that Omega has, you obviously do not want to give them that opportunity. Even in this matchup with Cram and Renzio here on the bottom side, if Dyroth manages to get that kill or get that kind of lead on this Esmeralda, it is going to put Cram into a similar position where he's on the back, the defense, and he has to kind of crawl his way out of there. You can already see them even focusing down there because they know that we need to take care of Cram as well and not let him slip behind.
Omega are lacking magic damage. It's really just an Eve. So the Esmeralda might be a problem later, but Omega are overloaded with physical damage.
Much like game 1.
Much like game 1.
Oh, Renzio with the engage. There's a knockup by Escalera. Answers back with the RWM. Right outside the zone of the turtle. I'm guessing as he's going to secure. There's a jump in by Cram. And the knockup. Serving it up. Renzio is the first loss here. Drawing first blood, Tnc. About 1,000 gold ahead. Ryzen's orange in trouble. Are they going to threaten to take it? There's a lethal counter, and Ryzen takes it.
Ooh. Good thing Ryzen was able to secure that for himself. Would have been an even bigger loss already for Omega as Tnc get first turtle of the game. I like that Ben Things committed his ultimate and his positioning not to stop the real-world manipulation. Tnc knew they were safe at a safe distance away from it, but just to give more space for a safer turtle take. A great call there by Ben Things.
And this again, too, you know, with Escalera playing this Julian, we saw in that zone, that area. Hold on, Ryzen.
Oh, there's a Way of the Dragon on the unsuspecting Bowman. Ryzen, run! And there's the welcoming party. Miko, Kelra, and KLVJ to the rescue. Ryzen survives.
Yeah, so going back to the point again, we saw the power of Julian in those kind of tight areas where the enhanced chain, when it finds 2-3 targets, it's so good. It's almost too good, right? I mean, this is something they have to worry about. He did get the first blood too. Scaling's going to be in his favor. So again, how do you play around that if you're Omega? One thing is Ryzen just staying alive the best that he can, because we see a lot of resources or time being spent on even trying to out jungle him or steal things away from him. If they can stop that from happening, hold on, Cram.
Gonna force it, and there's a falling star moon. Cocked and loaded, jumped onto a minion wave. You know what? I think it's very, very fortunate for Tnc to have the turtle spawn again on this lane. They were gonna send dudes there anyways, so I'm guessing we might see a sequence very similar to that that we saw in the first turtle.
Yeah, and I think they're also gonna be able to get the information that Ryzen will be purple buff-less. They'll see Ryzen soon enough here.
Purple free.
Purple free. Ben Things confirming that for SDCYZ.
Again, it's the same position. Look at where KLVJ is.
Yep.
This is the same angle he popped that real-world manipulation earlier. Let's see if it's going to be deja vu.
There it is.
And here we go. Adjusted it very slightly. The knockup by Escalera canceling the RWM. And with that, it's a fumble. There's a pull-in. Ryzen takes it. Heavy spin called on. Renzio coming in. Up in some strike. Short about a foot. And they're still going. Escalera gets the hell out of dodge. Ben Things as well. Omega with a small win.
That was an amazing just play all around for Omega. Even though Escalera knew the assignment, waited for the knockup for the RWM, got it canceled, but still, the power of that lethal counter with the Retribution, able to secure themselves a turret. They lower that gold lead a little bit, and no one goes down. So a nice play there for Omega, despite the positioning and also just the resources expended to actually win that kind of turtle fight for TNC.
Yeah, they were very patient. They didn't panic. And with more discipline and more patience, they find another target. But Renzo falls under the tower.
At what cost? Was it worth it? Was it enough to actually pressure Cram that way? Are they going to get items off of that?
That just evened things up. That was just very... It was a moot point at that point.
Yes.
Hunter Strike already been built up by the Deeroth. Dominus Eyes on the way for the Esmeralda. They're both going to be busy clearing up the minion waves. Gold very close for the Marksman. Mid laner, a advantage for Escalera. Those 2 kills giving him more gold there. First item not built yet by KLVJ, but he's on the way to building that Ice Queen wand to slow down the movement speed which they'll need up against that carry, up against that Julian and the Cho. Well, everyone.
Oh, man.
We just missed it almost. Down goes the King. And look at this relentless push by TNC, forcing the issue on this mid lane turret. Heavy spin by SDZYZ, though. What was going on there?
Well, this is what I was saying. Hold on. Cram actually and Renzio here are going to just poke each other down, the typical matchup with those two. But yeah, Escalera sitting on 3 kills here. Though you asked earlier, Leo, did that really matter? I mean, it was actually bad for Omega earlier on because that kill went over to Escalera. He's rolling with this Julian, who already does quite a bit of damage, and then you have all those enhanced abilities too, and that's actually what is stopping Omega for the most part from actually turning these around.
He's snowballing, watch out. A lot of damage coming in from this bush. It's Bentings and Escalera, and there's a chain. And the cancel by Miko. They're all in. A shutdown on Escalera. Real world manipulation again with pinpoint accuracy, placed in the same position, secures Omega a second turtle.
Ooh, great teamwork there by Miko and KLVJ. It's like you could hear the setup, the idea, and the call. Bentings almost getting caught out there, but man, what a pull there by Miko, committing that ultimate.
Lovely.
Picture perfect. Enough space for KLVJ to be safe, not enough space for TNC to run away. That was the perfect angle and the perfect ending.
Right after I just said all that about Escalera.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, he got pulled in and they got him down. So, you know, that's going to keep him in check a little bit more. But Omega already swinging things in favor. They should just be able to clear this out. They might lose the turret.
Oh no, Escalera's in trouble one more time. The lethal counter, serving up the kill to Kelra. But that's why it's so important, Nice. The way you set it up was exactly why Omega put so many resources into taking down the Season 9 Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, now we're seeing the poison of Omega, how tremendous they are at punishing counter plays. Just when you think they're down, they'll make play after play or make that one big play to completely turn the game.
Forget I ever said Season 9 Rookie of the Year. That wasn't me.
You know what's crazy, by the way? Speaking of Lassen, they're actually playing the Tyroth with the
Venom skin.
The Venom skin. So this is, you know, just a little fun fact there for the Lassen, the poison that Smart Omega is known for.
The Venomega.
The Venomega, if you will. And they're doing it, right? They're doing it against Escalera specifically, who was a big key factor.
Way the dragon onto Miko with the enhanced chains, but RWM by KLVJ. Thou shalt not take my tank down without us taking someone back. Bentings is in trouble. Kelra shotgun him into the face. Down goes the Cho. It's a 1-for-1, tank on tank. Violence, casualties across the board, 1-for-1.
That was great control and discipline by both teams. TNC didn't completely back away from the real-world manipulation of KLVJ. They still did what they could to deal a little bit of damage onto the members of Omega. Meanwhile, Omega calmly fighting under the real-world manipulation, but still, Keller was also able to find the target there. Great discipline by both teams.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a lot happened and only the roamers went down there, right? So, again, good positioning, but at the same time, Kelra's the one sitting on 2 kills now on this Beatrix, and they're sitting pretty. Conceal play.
SDZYZ smelt shenanigans, gets out of there, and they are going to have to concede this turret. Renzio builds his dominance ice. Look at this. First Lord up already with prime positioning by Omega.
This is Escalera's dream position right now in this scenario.
Oh,
but Miko is close enough.
There's the knockup. Doesn't get the cancel. Cram is in trouble. lives to see another day.
Okay, and now they're going to juggle the Lord around. This is Omega's to take, though. Kelra also waiting patiently on that bush, trying to zone out SDZYZ here.
There's the pull and the clap back by TNC. Yasuo, not a good look here. There's too many between him and his targets. There's a heavy spin, changing the zip code on Renzio's address. Look how far they sent that man. All this while, Omega secures a Lord.
It looked like at that point, TNC just said, no, might be too risky. And at that point, it really did look too risky for them to get that.
A pull on the crab!
Whoa.
That man was folded in half!
Where did that come from, Miko? In a blink of an eye, quite literally, just securing that kill out of the XP lane of TNC.
Send him with a meeting to see the Grim Reaper.
I mean, he was doing it on the coup for the previous game. He's doing it on the Ruby this time. And Omega clearly just flipping, flopping the tables around now with a 4K gold lead. It's only 11 minutes in the game. That Lord will probably convert one more turret for them. And TNC now, with their backs against the wall, I mean, they're struggling because even then, Yasuo was struggling to get in position to get. That's the big thing with having an Eve on your side if you're Omega. Yasuo actually can't get into a position to fight.
Range advantage. You're talking about Escalera who has to find an angle. But now inside their base, wherein there's less vision obscuring bushes, it's so hard to find that angle.
Yeah, it's all those pokes. And at the same time, Miko has just been one step ahead or just a little bit more decisive than Benthinx and TNC. Just when you think Miko wouldn't do anything, he'd go ahead and make it happen. And those surprise plays have been big for Omega.
Oh, much like Shia LaBeouf, just do it. They can't. It's not so easy.
Well, they're going to get that turret.
See how big that box was? Oh, conceal play. We're trying to find here. Oh, just secures inhibitor. There's a pull on the crab.
Wow,
that man is somebody's son. He goes down so quickly.
Oh, man, Miko. Just telling Crab, I'm your daddy now.
He lost this. Well, it looks like Omega, can they actually punch this in? They do have two waves coming up from both sides, top and bottom.
They can force it. There's no heavy spin.
Yes, they can force this. Omega can win the game right here, right now.
Let's see. Look at SDZYZ and Escalera. Two main sources of damage and CC, and Benthinx as well, looking to find an angle. But Ryzen playing man-to-man defense. There's the RWM, and there's a jump in. There's a pull one more time. Crab goes down. KLVJ gets it. And SDZYZ with a heavy spin. Oh, lordy Lou. So much happening inside the base. But it was just the right amount of confusion for TNC to get Omega to game 3.
Woo, man. TNC, well, Omega, I mean, he's not in this game right now, but Omega just gave TNC a dose of Mikophobia. Miko played was terrifying in that game.